Salam. Phoenix Ramadan Al Jackson, back in the light of Al Brazeera Cyber Network. And this is video 2, Outside the Box. Okay, and I hope I can clear up some of that ambiguity, okay, about the interconnectedness, okay, okay, hold on, here we go. Okay, so, relating the interconnection of our interconnection, wait, no, we won't do it that way. We'll say it this way: relating the interconnection, the interconnection of a social-economic classes spectrum of class to a physically multi-dynamic cosmic integrated universe. One can see how those fallacies of the ringtones would pose a great challenge. How trying to apply the stereotypes of the ringtone gained from the class system can pose such a challenge when trying to understand the grandeur of the universe and how it works. You got to be free. You got to have an open mind, okay? You got to cross boundaries respectfully, of course. Now, so one by which one may need a lot of overcoming, and you know how they sing those songs, we shall overcome. Well, one of the things and first things a person has to overcome is themselves and their interconnectedness. Okay, maybe not their interconnectedness, because I just want to say that word again because it's giving me a challenge, you know. But anyway, so yeah, one of the things they would have to overcome is their own, you know, perspective and how they see the world and how they came across that knowledge, and you know. Okay, they simply maintain. Okay, now so they have to overcome them if they because they don't want to maintain that perspective. Because to do so is to simply maintain a perception of subjectivity, and we don't want to be subjective. Okay, you just don't want to be subjective. You want to have a broad spectrum of insight. Okay, you want to see the whole rainbow, not just one spectrum, because seeing the total rainbow is where the beauty is, right? Okay, that's where you'll find the beauty. Okay, that's where I want to be. That's where I am. Okay. Okay, on top of the rainbow, or under the rainbow, sometimes over the rainbow, but we won't go there right now. Okay, it's Ramadan, and sometimes around Ramadan, a little, you know, appetitis, you know, making you feel a little whatever. But anyway, back to the program. Okay, so we said we don't want to be subjective. Okay, that is closed, because that can be closed mind. Okay, now we want, we don't want to be subjective by remaining in the box of bureaucratic isms, the box of bureaucratic divide. Okay, the commercial box of bureaucratic divide of who got what, when, where, and why. Okay, all that is important, but it's not as important as how you got what you got, when, where, and why. Okay, and as it relates to your perception of life and beyond, as it relates to the box, the bureaucratic box. Okay, so we say failure to recognize and to integrate cosmically with life in all its dynamic dimensions of diversity, of complete reality. What did I say? Failure to do so, what does it do? It keeps one in and tied, dyed, and limited to the box, and held hostage to a brutality of hostile spirited, competitive. Well, no, it keeps them tied, dyed, and held, bonded to a brutally hostile, spirited, commercially artificial world. Okay? So, and they blindly navigating through life, or blindly navigating life through a commercial world of negative stereotypes. Okay? Many by which causes people to clash, okay, based on false realities or false perceptions, okay. How much time? Oh, okay, this is the video. Okay, now we're going to back up, okay. Okay, now it keeps them tied to the box, right? And what does it say? The paradigm. It keeps them tied to the paradigm. The stereotypes keeps them tied to the paradigm. Okay? That's okay. Okay. Some things gotta just let it be. Okay, anyway, and this wants to just be. Okay, now, so it keeps them tied to the paradigm. Their mental paradigm. Their smaller box. Okay? The box of the mind. Okay, the perception of reality. The commercial reality where humanity's soul, no, that's not what I want to say, where humanity is sold in the open market, okay, which is predicated upon class system, which is predicated upon an educational system, which is predicated upon the market, okay, which is predicated upon a universal code, which is predicated upon universal codes of do what I want to do, okay, to every man, woman, and child that ever failed in class, okay, which is predicated upon a criminal justice system, which is predicated upon a penile implants, okay, injustice system, okay, which is predicated upon a list of what? Bureaucratic isms for life, okay. Now, so that will protect, that is to protect the market, okay, and make, which is a predatory what? A predatory world that makes pimps and hoes out of the young and the old, for the commercial world is an undiscriminating meat market that has no love for his brother or his sister, and teaches everyone else to do the same, to answer to the ringtones, okay? Remember how angry the word nigger made somebody, or cracker, or they called them wetbacks, or Japs, or terrorists for Arabs. Native Americans were savages. All to divide and conquer, right? These are negative ringtones, and these ringtones, when said, would make people outraged. Ooh, they would infuriate the person, okay? Until they've been neutralized now. Now today, as we say, everybody's a nigga, and it's cool, right? Okay. So they don't have the power that they did in the past. More people are outside the box on a ringtone, but there are many people still in the box, okay, with the commercial ethics and all that, living their life based on
in the room, yeah, but
living the life based upon commercial ethics, okay. Now, okay, so they teach you not to love your brother, okay, if he's got the wrong if he's from the wrong class, the wrong hood, okay? Okay, so, now, so they teach you not to love a brother or sister. It is the world, okay? The world is to, okay, they teach you not to have a love for a brother or a sister. The world is to be integrated on all levels, all three dimensions. Okay, the spiritual, emotional, and as we said, and physically connected. Just as many are on the internet, right? Because the internet, okay, because in today's society, it's about what? It's about, okay, no longer is mankind dependent on too much of the land. Okay, they don't live on the land. We don't live off the land anymore, per se, directly off the land. We're more of a, a service and goods, industry. And that now that the market is shrinking, let's say, we don't have, let's say, big corporations are no longer the means by which many earn their income. So therefore, they are. It is incumbent upon them to have a broader perspective of life and beyond, because they're going to be networking with others that have their own perspective, gained from their culture or what have you. So we have to have a global consciousness of the type of individuals we're interfacing with or interacting with. We have to have so that we may not offend anyone. Okay. So in doing so, we got to get rid of those isms, right? Because we can't, because as we said, the corporate world is that those big conglomerates, corporations are becoming antiquated because they're too expensive. Okay, and they're too expensive because we don't live off the land anymore. The natural resources have been harvested, and those big corporations, conglomerates, multinationals, okay, they cannot afford to care for every man, woman, and child. That's why they got to downsize. That's why there's population control, and genocide and all of that, because they can't indefinitely sustain man for the eternity, enduring freedom, eternity. They just can't do that. They can't do what the earth did naturally. So they've got to cut back, if you will, on humanity. So if people, persons have to care for themselves, as we said, generate their own income, and that means working with the universe. And working with the universe means, connecting with the all, okay? We have to have a universal mind, okay? If we're going to make this work, okay? Because if you're going to leave it to the corporations, what's going to happen? It means that many people got to be left behind because they can't do it. Remember, many of the corporations left America. They decided to outsource and relocate because they couldn't afford the unions. They couldn't afford the vacation pay. They couldn't afford retirement. They couldn't afford sick leave. They can't afford vacations. They can't afford all of that, unions. So they had to leave. And if they couldn't afford that, think about they can't even sustain now, today, they can't even sustain full-time employment. And, so therefore, the wise person, has to, if they're going to live well, healthy, because there's nothing wrong with wealth, it's just how it's, acquiesced. If it's acquiesced by, smothering the brother or oppressing the brother, that's not wise. but there's nothing wrong with wealth. In Islam, it says the best aspect of life are wealth, or children and wealth. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's just how it's obtained. Now, as we said, so therefore, it's best if the type of wealth that is going to allow one to live healthy. Okay, that is, be able to afford, you know, decent housing, adequate housing, you know, you know, proper education, sufficient education, let's say, not just employment training, because that's going way of the horse and buggy. Okay, so in order to generate your own income and live well, you're going to have to open the box, come outside the box. Okay, no more stereotypes, no more box thinking, no more classism, okay, which is, you know, separatism, at least consciously, you know, because of course there's some places you want to live and there's some places you don't want to live. Okay, so, but at least consciously in your mind you want peace, okay, but you have to have an open mind for that. But that's not what we're talking about, okay? But of course that's involved with income too. I mean, generate your own income too, having enough, you know, wealth will enable the aids in enabling one to have a peaceful life, less stress, okay? Less worry, less concern. Anyway, so you're going to have to generate your own income, and for that, you got to get outside the box, okay? Now, okay, so we said, okay, because the world is integrated, which causes one to interface with those that that extend beyond the parameters of their ringtone, their box, or their paradigm. One must be knowledgeable about cultural facts. From commercial, from commercial manufactured cultural stereotypes or box, or the box class perspective. If the world is going to ascend and be saved, we've got to have a global perspective. We've got to be a global people. We've got to be globalized. Mobilized and globalized. We got to be mobilized mentally and globalized physically. Okay? No. Well, either way. Okay? Yeah. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Okay, so our mind, we got to be globalized people. We've got to integrate mentally, mind, body, and soul in order to what? Heal the world. Okay, so now I hope that wasn't too ambiguous, you know. But anyway, it's Ramadan. Happy full moon. Happy Ramadan full moon. Phoenix Ramadan L. Jackson. Okay, and I want you to have a great Ramadan. And to those who are fasting, or to those who to the Ummah that celebrates Ramadan, Ramadan Kareem, and to those, you know, others, happy full moon, okay? And I hope I wasn't too ambiguous on this video outside the box, okay? Okay, let me see if I got everything in here that I needed to say. Okay. 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 Just making sure I got everything. Make sure I got the time too. Okay. 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 Good. Okay, so that's done. Phoenix Ramadan L. Jackson. Out of the light of Brazeera Cyber Network. And I hope you enjoyed